Assalamu alaikum. Can everybody hear me back there? Can everybody hear me? Okay. Let me know if you cannot. Yes? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes people say I'm talking too loud, so I'm afraid to do that. But let me know if you cannot hear me. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you for coming out. We had a nice turnout, mashallah. Everybody showed up in the last couple of minutes, and despite the rain, on a very important topic in wake of the recent tragedies that we've had up north against the Sikh temple and also the masjid. So we are all concerned, and that's why we are here. So I'm glad that you all came out as a community to learn about how to deal with this situation. Okay, is that better? All right. I also want to thank the FBI and also the Orange County Sheriff for coming out today to provide us with the proper crime prevention tips and also on how to deal with any kind of situation that may occur. Before we get into their presentations, I would like for each of them to introduce themselves. Let's start with Mr. Neely.
Hi, I'm Jerry Neely. I work for the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I'm assigned to the Intelligence Section.
I'm John Allen. I'm a sergeant with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and I'm assigned to the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force.
Assalamu alaikum.
I'm Saul.
Andy Lenzen, FBI. I'm the supervisor of the Joint Terrorism Task Force. Thank you for having me.
Hello, everybody. My name is Steve Thomas. I'm a sergeant with the Sheriff's Office, and I'm the supervisor of the Crime Prevention Unit of the Sheriff's Office, and we're here to help you tonight with some issues that you may be dealing with as far as crime prevention tips.
Hi, Lieutenant Pearson. I'm with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, obviously. I'm with Sector 5, which I have watch command responsibilities are partial for the Uniform Patrol Division, which protects your area.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Orange County Sheriff Jerry Demings, and as you can see, most of these are my staff members here. We're here really out of concern that you may have tonight. So we're here to respond to any questions that you may have. We're here to make certain that you understand that your safety and security is of the utmost concern to us. Okay?
Thank you. I've been reminded that everybody please turn off your cell phones. We don't want those to ring while we're listening to these very important presentations. Imam Tariq, would you please talk to us about what the masjid is doing to, as a matter of precaution for these recent situations that have occurred?
First of all, I'd like to thank Orange County Sheriff Department and the FBI, especially when I called Mr. Andrew, and he was very busy, but still he managed to come. Thank you all for coming. And Mr. Demings, thanks for coming. I just stepped in and I got this good news that you're also here. So thank you for coming. Yes, I mean, after the shooting at the Sikh temple last week and the burning of a mosque, everybody here at the mosque was very much concerned about the security of our mosque. We was concerned about the security of our children, our family members, because in the month of Ramadan, we come every night to pray at the masjid, at the mosque. We come here to break fast. We bring our children, our wives. So we were very much concerned about the security of our mosque and ourselves and our family members. So we contacted the Orange County Sheriff Department, and they are patrolling our mosque and our premises. So we are really thankful to that. But the purpose for organizing this meeting was to hear from the law enforcement agency that what should we expect, and what if any unfortunate incident happens, how should we respond? So this is the main theme of this town hall meeting, and I hope that after this meeting we'll learn something, and then we'll follow that. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Imam Barak. And I believe Mr. Neely has a video presentation for us.
Yes, that's correct. I'll speak briefly to you all about active shooters and the profile of a shooter, and we'll show you some prevention tips. Yeah, our concern too is how we respond as an agency to active shooters. In the light of what happened in Colorado, can you hear? Okay, how about now? Okay. I'm sure you all are aware in Colorado, they had in Aurora, it was a movie theater. They had the massacre that occurred there. They had, as a result, 12 dead, 58 injured. And then just 2 weeks later, we had this other tragedy in Milwaukee, where a Sikh temple was attacked by an individual named Michael Wade. He killed 5 and eventually killed himself. He was linked to a white supremacist organization, a neo-Nazi group. He was also tied in with the Hammerskins, and he played in a band. And the band he played in was Definite Hate and End the Apathy. And there's some reports that he had even been into Central Florida and had performed here during an event out in the Christmas area. We do have extremists in our community, and they're in every community. People who have radical thought of hate and do not like others who are different from them. I want to discuss with you just quickly about an active shooter study that was done by NYPD. It was done of over 202 persons incidents from 1966 to 2010. Mostly these active shooter events were committed predominantly by a single one person. Sometimes we even call these people a lone wolf, someone who may or may not be part of an organization and want to carry out a radical action. And the majority of these attacks were committed by males. Only 8 of the 202 were committed by females. The school shootings, average age for a school shooting was age 15 to 19, and the non-school shootings was age 35 to 44. That's law enforcement. Those crimes, usually street crime level crimes, are committed in the range of 19 to 21 or so. Normally, when you age, you cease to commit crimes. But it's surprising to know the fact that 35 to 44 is an older age for a criminal act. The attacker, his relationship to the victims, 41% of these incidents occur at a workplace environment. And then 23% occur in academic or school environment. And then 22%, there was no relationship between the attacker and that particular location that he attacked. 9% were for other reasons, and 5% were family related. The number of casualties in an active shooter event ranges from deaths occur from 0 to 5 on average. And weapons, 36% of the attackers had multiple weapons on them during the time of the attack. And how were these events resolved? How was it actually stopped? In 46% of the cases, force had to be used, either by law enforcement or somebody like yourself who was unarmed and attacked the attacker, stopping the attack. 14% no force was used to end the assault. 40% of the attackers committed suicide. And only 1% of the attackers fled. Most of these individuals who do these active shooting scenarios, they have no attack plan. They do not plan to escape. They usually plan to be either killed or they kill themselves. So active shooters, when you really look at there's no single profile, but an active shooter is not usually committed by a well-adjusted person, a person who is like yourself, having no difficulties. Usually these individuals, from my background, I'm a hostage. I've been a hostage negotiator for 15, 20 years. I also respond on all SWAT call-outs. I do the intelligence work for all barricaded individuals. So I kind of know the mindset of individuals who are going through crises, and that is usually the case on these individuals. They're going through a life crisis, either a loss of a job, loss of a relationship,
They're usually not emotionally or psychologically disturbed. They usually have substance abuse issues. And they may even be self-medicating themselves with illegal substances to cure a depression or something like that. And most are suicidal, and they have no problem-solving skills and no support structure from family. Looking at some of I wanted to touch briefly on some of the extremism groups because the individual in Milwaukee had that extremism background. There's many types of them, not necessarily that just because you belong to an extremist group means you are going to act out in a violent nature. You usually have a deep-seated hatred towards other people. You may or may not be involved in street-level crimes against other individuals, but may never become an active shooter. So, although in this particular instance, this individual did, we're not really sure of his motivations. Did he attack the Sikh temple and mistakenly think that there were Muslims there? We're not sure. We may eventually find out through some of the further investigations. We know that the authorities have arrested his girlfriend. She was also armed and probably also like-minded. Some of the extremism groups we have out there, you could put them in different categories. Like one of them would be conservative. That would be like your Ku Klux Klan. They still exist today. And then you've got your left-wing groups, whether they be the Weather Underground or Black Liberation Army. You've got your right-wing groups, which are your neo-Nazis. And also they're against racism and things of that. You've got your militia groups. You've got your white supremacy groups. You've got your sovereign citizen groups. They're against paying taxes. They believe that they have the right to travel. They don't want to have a driver's license. We deal with them all the time. Traffic stops. They file usually false liens against us at times, and there's developing legislation against them so we can deal with them appropriately in court. Also, Aryan Nation, that's part of the militia movement. I'm sure some of you heard the Oklahoma City bombing. That was Timothy McVeigh. He was involved in the militia movement. There's also single issue groups like eco-terrorism. That would be environmental terrorism, animal rights, anti-abortion groups, narco-terrorism. So, I mean, the list goes on. Some of the things just looking for prevention and response. It's imperative that police get notified immediately when you have a suspicious individual on your property, or even when the event should occur. Because it's found that the quicker the response by law enforcement, the quicker that we can neutralize the threat. It's even through studies, it's also shown that even a single individual even if an unarmed individual can stop an active shooter incident. These incidents usually go on anywhere from a range of 5 to potentially 15 minutes. That's about the length of it. So it does happen pretty quick. We have, fortunately, the sheriff, we're well staffed. We have units on the road, and don't even think of this event could possibly even occur here at a mosque. It could occur anywhere, in a shopping mall, obviously a movie theater, any public venue. You could possibly be around an active shooter. Historically, looking at what's happened here in Orange County, we've not had many of those. We've had one in the city of Orlando, November 2006, a high-rise building. It was an engineering firm. An individual who was terminated 2 years prior returned to his employment in the city of Orlando and killed one individual and injured 5 others. So, I mean, and then he was later captured about 2 hours later at a standoff at his mother's home. So, and this individual was emotionally and psychologically impaired. It's unfortunate. Overall, the threat in Orange County is low. It's lower than it has been. Fortunately, from the good work of the Orlando FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force, they were able to basically dismantle and arrest a group called American Front. They made 14 arrests. All those people are in custody. So, that potential threat has been neutralized. So the individual who came here and played, Mr. Wade, who came here and played before that group, those were probably some of the people who were there at that time when he played out in Christmas with his band. So, and how has the Orange County Sheriff's Office dealt with prevention and response with active shooters? We do train annually for active shooters, move to contact. The old police theory back in the days was just get there, contain, surround, and just, minimize, keep other people out, but we did not respond into it. But now we're trained to actually go and approach the active shooter. We have teams that are trained for that. We do train. And also, the sheriff is aggressive in seizing firearms. We seize many firearms countywide. Used by criminals, also those individuals who we respond to homes that are mentally unstable. If they have firearms, we take those firearms for safekeeping. And on many occasions, those firearms do not get returned. Also, our SWAT team is one of the best in the country. They train all the time for active shooters, barricaded situations, so they're well trained. Also, our crime prevention is available to conduct vulnerability assessments, also security surveys of properties to give you some helpful suggestions on how you can better secure your property. Also, something you all can do is assigning the task of, you've got security here, which is a great benefit. Many smaller mosques or churches do not have security, but they probably would have to rely on individuals who are tasked with that function of being security or being greeters that would greet individuals who are not, are new people to the property, and just try to get an idea of what their intentions are. Also look for suspicious activity. And in reporting of any kind of suspicious activity that you may see here on property, an individual that may possibly be pre-operational surveillance for a future attack. You never know. Contact us. What the deputy will do is write up a report. He will forward it to the Orange County Sheriff's Office Intelligence Unit, and then we will forward that information off to the Orlando FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. We will look at all the leads, try to identify the purpose of that individual, make contact with them, try to determine his intentions. So hopefully we'll have some good witnesses and some good leads that y'all can get a tag number for us and get some good information. And we also get reporting of other suspicious incidents at other locations, whether it be in Kissimmee, a mosque there, or anywhere else in this area. We also rely heavily on CFIX, our Central Florida Information Exchange, to report to them suspicious incidents. They handle this region, and they also would get reportings from other locations that may possibly be a match to something that's helping it elsewhere. Additionally, extremism groups and domestic terrorism groups are actively being investigated by the FBI, Joint Terrorism Task Force, and also the Orange County Sheriff's Office Intelligence Unit. So we're here to assist and to help you. I'd like to show you a brief video. This video, it's about 6 minutes long. It was developed with funding from the Department of Homeland Security. And this person could be anything. This person could be of any race, any gender, committing an active shooting.